Hey everybody, welcome to the studio of Carini Arts. Please feel free to check out CariniArts.com. You can also join me on my other platforms. I am on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I'm on everything. I'm really trying to do better here on YouTube, so I could use your support, help me share the videos, and help me create some engagement. If not, I'll just keep plugging away, putting in the work, and hopefully at some point, some of these videos will help someone. Today, I want to talk about the difficulty that some have in finishing what they start and a little tip that may work for you because it's something that's worked for me. So, one of the things I most commonly hear from artists is that they have just this endless, vast void of open projects that sit in a corner that they'll start something, but they don't finish it. They'll have 15 projects over there in the studio and they'll just start with a new canvas because they don't know how to finish what they start. I think a lot of this comes back to when we're in school. When we're in school and we're in this regulated program where somebody's governing over us and telling us when something has to be done, how it needs to be done, we do it because it is required to move on to the next step. When we leave school, we then have to manage ourselves. And I think that that's the difficulty that most of us have because, in many cases, school does not teach us how to govern ourselves, or at least we don't have that sense until we get out and then our own personality quirks kind of kick in. And I know that when I was in art school, one of the statistics that I heard was that 5 years after graduating, 95% of students aren't making art. I don't think that it's because of the lack of creativity. I think it's the lack of accountability and the lack of ability to be autonomous and to govern oneself. And so, one of the tools that has worked for me is something that I learned from fitness, and it's just the idea of conditioning. So I've always been an A to B type person, and I start a project, I got to get it done before I can move on to the next project. Simple as that. I don't like to have many projects open at all. And I have been able to really tighten this aspect of my strategy and philosophy over the years by just relentlessly conditioning it to the point that has become a habit, and then that habit becomes a ritual. So if you struggle right now with finishing the projects that you start, I am going to task you with something, and that is to set a limit of how many projects you can have open. So if you generally have like 20 projects open at a time, let's start with maybe something like five. You can only have five projects open at a time. At the point that you're ready to start a sixth, you have to finish one of those before you can then start a new one because you can only have five open projects. And what will happen over time as you start to tighten up and reduce that number from five to maybe four to three to two, you will start to condition yourself to having that mentality of getting things done. And I think that this will be something that helps you not only with your art, but the other facets and aspects of your life as well. And you make it to the point that you try to narrow it down to you have to start one project and finish that. But I can understand from a creative perspective how some people do like to have at least a couple projects open. They like to bounce back and forth, play with different dynamics, things of that nature. So that's completely understandable. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And the truth is that as long as you're getting the things done that you need to get done, it's not really a problem. It only really becomes a problem when it starts affecting your life in such a way that you're missing deadlines or you feel like you're not really making any progress. But if you feel like you're not making any progress right now, give this a shot because it has worked for me for many, many years. And I think that it could work for you. And it's a really simple thing. It's just a matter of taking on some accountability and learning to manage yourself. And that all starts with a single step. And that single step may just be saying, hey, I can only have this many open, and you got to hold firm to it because you can't rely on other people to hold you accountable all the time. Sometimes you got to hold yourself accountable. So let me know your thoughts on this subject. If you are somebody that doesn't finish projects, or if you are somebody that does finish projects, let's hear your thoughts too. And if you do have a lot of open projects, I want to know how many projects you generally have open at a time. So join me for my next talk. I will see you later. Have a great day. CariniArts.com.